Kinda do feel like I want to make a save game though, just in case. This attack does not go well. Hello people, it's me. I'm the most important person of this game. The protagonist. Yeah, you wouldn't like me taking that. Records keeper.
Gods keep you.
Good for you. I'm looking for militia records from the time of the Saints War, trying to find out what happened to someone. A number of inquiries about such information. I'm afraid we've had to buy access to the public. It is quite a number of folk never were ill will toward Red Serans. We are sponsored to surrender their names to just anyone. Many came to settle here as refugees. Of course, that policy is for the general public. Exceptions can be made for those who have already proven their worth. Versus on the front, the inventories of the dead in back.
Woden Talesh,
Woden
18
Talesh.
Majavernho 2808. Third Battle of Cleaban Relog. Blazing Glonfather names, I swear.
You tell me, I have to read some of those too, and I'm getting quite literally cancer from that.
Rayet Saris? I'll be the effigy. He fought for Rayet Saris. Why'd he fight for Rayet Saris?
I don't know. Political reasons? Why do people fight for anything? Raising the payment, I guess? Well, I'm pretty sure he had a good reason.
We gotta go there. That battlefield. Clea... the one I said. I don't know how else I'm gonna make sense of all this. I gotta see what he saw. And who knows, maybe his spirit will even be there and you can have one of your weird talks with him. I mean, worth trying, right?
Well, I'd say so.
I appreciate that. I wish I could say you won't regret it, but you certainly might.
Ah, come on, you're part of my little group of friends. Do you really think I would even hesitate a second to maim, murder, kill, and or rescue everything that you want? Friends, you know, very important. Marshal Foreman, do you have anything to say? Thank you for coming. I've been trying to track you down for some time. This is Marshal Foreman, Earl Bedemar's military advisor. He will serve as a witness for this proceeding. Well met, Road Warden. Your reputation precedes you. I admit you've created a bit of a stir throughout the nobility. Your reclamation of Katnua. Also soon sure what to think of you. What's this about then? The legitimacy of your claims to Katnua is in question. Earl Bedemar has issued a ruling on the matter. Well, Katnua was abandoned for over a century and have claimed that land through strength of arms. My claim is legitimate. If there were no other claimants, you would be correct. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Ultimately, once Lord Gethbin arrives, do you have any questions for me while we wait? Tell me about Earl Bedemar. Who's that asshole that tries to claim my land? I want to know who is before I cut off his head. An esteemed line of lords, you say. It was the prominence of the Law of Defiance. What consists of 7 earldoms. The Bedemars govern the northern earldoms known as the Grasp. As to the current Bedemar, he's a fine man, as I know. It is an honor to serve him. Give me about the Grasp. The Grasp is now the largest of the 7 earldoms. After it consumes the pre-war earldom of Yenwood. It possesses notable settlements such as New Heomar, Galeran's Grasp, Gilded Vale, and of course, Katnua. Yenwood! Yenwood was a colony of Eddard. It was divided into 9 earldoms. The Adherents were defeated and ultimately driven out. 2 of the earldoms were absorbed and borders were adjusted. The Yenwood was one such earldom. What do we know of Gethbin? I met him but once. I was ample time to determine the character of Lord Elden Gethbin, or lack thereof. Descended from an old Eddern line, that's the War of Defiance. His great-grandfather, Gethbin, was the Earl of Yenwood during the war. That is until he was stripped of his land and driven from the Direward. You know which way has ruled. Not great. What was that about Road Warden? Rules Katnua on behalf of the Earl of Yenwood is traditionally known as the Road Warden. Your position might not be entirely official yet, but the title is an appropriate form of address. Okay, so I kind of misunderstand. So the Earl Bedemar is the one who is supposed to judge, and that asshole is the one who wants my castle. Jamie is impeccable. Here comes Lord Gathbin now. Come out, wherever you are. I need someone to cut their head off. An opulently dressed man strides towards the Chancellor, sandy hair trailing him like a banner caught in a light breeze. Boot heels echoing throughout the hall. An elven woman with cropped hair dressed in dark, glittering mail shadows his steps before taking position alongside him. Is that so? Okay, give me a second while I'm, you know, getting the good old Knuckles starts out, and we can solve this very fast. And where's this pretender? She who murdered Lord Colks, my own cousin, and now steals my land. Where's this low-born wretch? Brown clears his road and glances at you. He's moving here. It's the Lady of Ketnua. Thought she was just another servant. Perhaps a veil was scullery maid. Raise your hand. Everyone who owns their own keep, raise a hand. This hand. Go on. Don't be shy. Imbecile, I hope you've enjoyed your time squatting on my land. I did, it's my land, don't worry. Provoke me further, telling you from the highest wall of Katnua when our business is finished. Breaks the seal of the scroll. I know further. Any matter of Gathbin claim of Katnua. Alberta finds that the Gathbin claim was never relinquished. By law, Katnua is the rightful property of the Gathbin family. Knew it! Not yet finished reading, my lord? However, the organism played trans part in reclaiming Katnua, a site that has stood abandoned and even, some would say, cursed for over a century. Now Katnua is returned to the Gathbin family. The Earl has decreed that Lord Gathbin will provide compensation in the form of... Absolutely not. My lord, the amount is quite reasonable and a requirement for your land to be returned to you. You'll just allow me to finish. I'll not pay a single copper to this miscreant for my ancestral land. You think I'm blind to the Earl's motives, Lackey? Thinks he can send a message with this insult. A message you can send that son of a war. Gibbon raises an open hand as the Chancellor shrinks from him. Grab his arm. You peasant. Oh, somebody draws a pistol, eh? You want to think about that very, very much. I have my whole crew up here. We murdered quite a few things to come this far. Also, you're an elven woman. I have tentacles. Do you want me, you know, to make the equation? Elf X tentacle. I'm sure there are some titles that you can Google that will make this very much obvious how it's gonna end. No, there's really no need for violence. If he doesn't even is willing to pay, that's my land and it's gonna stay my land. And become before it's mine. Sick, I'm counting on it, bitch boy. I'm really counting on that. We have gained an item, the Girt Awanas Dennis. Well, tell Gathbin if I catch him or any of his people on my land, they'll be executed. Nah. Actually, I don't even feel the need to threaten him. I'm just done here. Perhaps we'll speak again in more pleasant circumstances. Farewell. Yeah, probably not a good idea. I can't imagine her going a bit apeshit. I do kinda like the synergy we have going between my peoples. Yo, Chancellor. Go around the room. The dinner has gone quiet and turned to see the last of the patrons quickly disappearing through the front door. A moment later, a group of armed men and women stride into the tavern. Oh dear. Woman leading the armed group lowers her coal with one hand while keeping the other on a pistol tucked into her belt. You immediately recognize a certain elvish bitch. Oh boy. Okay. I just thought we could leave this to the sequel, being like, well, Elfix tentacle comes next time, but no, apparently she really wants that tentacle right now. I remember you have been at the palace, and are you? You seem quite interesting. Unasked duty calls. What do you want? Well, that you're deaf. Shame, really. Admire your exploits. You don't have that much room. Sadly, I have murders. You have been loose. You should work for me. With noble, will be fine. Try to do it again. I doubt that I've taken in with him, but what's done is done. To be very fair, a lot less pain. Attack me and I'll make you suffer. Do your worst. That is not something of an invitation I get often. Do your worst, eh? Combat only. Okay, first things first.
Yes.
Lava.
Yes. God damn it, I need to maneuver you. Run! Tentacles, tentacles, da-dee-da-dee-day. Tentacle time, you are gonna love it. Quite literally, gonna love it. Now then, Captain Emery, you are the little elf bitch, aren't you? First things first, tentacles first, kill the other ones. As we can resummon a few more if need be. They're really going out of the way to using all of the healing spells, aren't they? I mean, they have to if they want to keep going, basically. I mean, why don't we use a pillar of holy fucking fire? No tentacles, you say? Yeah, I kinda disagree there. Just a little bit down. Now then, we have Great Many a tentacle who have very much fun. Now the little elfie. You wanted it to be this way. Yep. And see, people, this is why hentai is not realistic. That is what would happen if you were to induce too much tentacle to an elf. They would just explode. Quite nice, isn't it? Now then, Mr. Chancellor. Does make this range report I've received from the grass make more sense in context server. Go on. I better decided to keep an eye on Lord Gevbin's activities. Gevbin has been hiring a lot of men recently, but for what purpose we can't say. To take a precaution at Katnua, you may be attempting to place spies or saboteurs within your walls. Be very in-game yet.
Yes?
His endgame. His endgame was just losing one of his most trusted people. Pretty weak as far as endgame is concerned, I'd say. Seriously, that spell. I don't know what it is about this spell, and I don't know why the game treats it so fucking powerfully, but Even in comparison to other spells, this is where it's at. I'm kinda assuming bad things are going on at Katnua. Like a bloody freaking attack of my lands. Ah, angry mobs. Individuals formed on every ruler's side. They play John. What brings you to Katnua? I have news about Lord Gevbin. Let's discuss in the Great Hall. Away from curious ears. Is he finally going to come out to play with me? Because, you know, I just exploded with tentacles his right-hand woman. Jesus Christ, without context, that really sounds horrible, doesn't it? I'm using from my point of view, though. Well, then again, even with context, that still kinda is a very horrible thing, but, well, can we rest, please, for a second? I need some, you know, help.
I'm sorry if I was a little tactless before.
Hmm.
About your being a watcher. I didn't really understand what was involved. Is it hard, hearing the spirits all the time?
Well, it's been fairly useful, actually, you know? Make for excellent sources of information at times. Sure, at any rate, we're bound to find a solution for this. You can count on my help until we do. See, my people love me. We're all good friends here. I mean, I know it's kind of cliche, the whole, you know, friendship trumps all, but I do like to, you know, if my comrades like me and I like them. Observed that Lord Gevbin is amassing an army of mercenaries near Yenwood Field. It appears a peaceful claim to Katnua is no longer possible. You want to send me to aid you in forming your own force to counter this threat. Here an advisory role only, of course. You don't want to officially take sides in this dispute. Why you want to officially legitimize my claim? The delicate situation. Legally, Lord Gevbin's claim is just, and he knows it. Stripping land and title from a noble family is quite dangerous, but more so than killing the man outright. Gevbin dead, you'll only need worry about blood vengeance from family members that actually cared for Lord Gevbin. Those that Court Gossip is to be believed are few and far between. Having a family claim to land and title, though. Such disputes incite hatred from the entire clan and their political allies. Mention the unease it causes amongst the other nobles. Also started for this. As to be denied, it will be you who must prove your legitimacy to the Earl, and all others who dispute your claim. What it means to be noble in Direward. How much time do I have? Enough. It's rumored that Gevbin will suffer a series of unfortunate and completely unforeseeable setbacks before his army is complete. Unfortunate, isn't it? Still, the age should not tarry long. Hey, for this rumors, why not let Gevbin's army come to me? Isn't fool enough to risk tearing down Katnua just to kill you, and if you shoot yourself behind the Knights of the Crucible, perhaps, or the dozens. What's the status of my regular troops? 2 green and 2 few. To go up against it, but now losses will be heavy. However, victory is still possible. We need to recruit veteran troops. No company of 2 veterans that would be willing to join us for a bit of coin. Let's say 10,000 copper should cover the expenses. This should do. What special allies do I have available? One is over to help, I'm afraid. Maybe to find an ally in defiance by among the Knights of the Crucible, the dozens, or if you're truly desperate, House Dominel. Yes, I'm sure. Give the order. As you command, I'll march the army to Yenwood. Will you be accompanying us? Yes, let's march. Of course I will accompany you. I will go with my troops. I'm basically a foot slogger myself. As you crest a small hill overlooking Yenwood Field, Lord Gevbin's army is a flurry of activity, going to and fro. Even from this distance, you can hear the drums of war beating their steady cadence, designed to intimidate the foes while organizing the rank and file into battle formation. Marshal Thorin approaches. Arrived just in time. Lord Gevbin's forces are beginning to move. An attack is imminent. Any idea what Gevbin is planning? His ultimate is to face you in battle and to be seen defeating you. I doubt he's foolish enough to challenge you to single combat, of course. Respect your forces. Local militia constitutes the majority of the army, but veteran soldiers have organized ranks and walk amongst the young, unseasoned warriors, offering advice or the occasional joke. They cheer, striking sword to shield as you pass, thunderous approval of the Lord. Among the troops, one group of warriors shine brighter than the others, Crucible Knights, standing tall in gleaming plate armor, armed with spear and shield. They stand at attention, spear centered, as you pass. Sound the horn, Marshal Foven. It's time to finish this nonsense. Barking orders and the troops quickly form up. Gavbin's army follows suit as the war drums echo across the field. In a few minutes, the Marshal rises a brass horn. The touch of a mighty boar to his lips. He looks at you expectantly. Well, I mean, tonight, the Ravens will feast on your enemies while we drink, fuck, and revel in our glorious victory. I mean, sounds motivating enough. Their troops billow across the field, pounding weapon to shield as the Marshal's horn sounds. Wing! The boastings twang unison behind you, as your archers unleash a hail of arrows at Gavbin's army. The missiles hiss through the air with deadly accuracy, killing scores of enemies. A bold move. Gavbin points his sword towards your position. Giving an unheard order, his infantry shields raised. Charge the field. Your infantry charges headlong into the enemy infantry in the center of the field. The cacophonous sound of metal on metal is nearly deafening as the two forces collide. Fighting spheres and the screams of the dying numerous, led by veteran warriors rally to your cause. The troops fight valiantly and appear to be holding the ground. The battle thus far appears to be a stalemate. Then a group of veteran battle mages emerges from behind the enemy lines. They begin weaving their hand in unison with practiced precision. Suddenly, waves of Zakan fire erupt among your troops. The acrid smell of smoke and burning flesh is nearly overwhelming. From the left rank, a unit of Rautai berserkers, clad in plate armor and wielding great swords, begins to collapse the left side of the line. The ground is sick with the dead as they press their advantage. Meanwhile, Blake Walker paladins, dressed in dark armor and carrying swords and shields, strike back and forth behind Gavbin's lines, rallying his warriors and exhorting them to fight harder. As the battle rages, Marshal looks to you for orders. Study the battlefield. Your lines are holding for the moment. Gavbin's army is slowly pushing you back and casualties are mounting. Defeat is likely. We need to deal with those fucking battle mages first and foremost. Send in the Crucible Knights. Drive forward in a wedge formation through enemy lines. The formation allows them to penetrate the line quickly, but leads to heavy losses. As they reach the battle mages, the formation falls apart. The battle mages use the magic attack against your lines. The many knights put them to the sword. But your fated maneuver has sealed a grisly fate for the last of the knights. The bleak walkers must die. We have no allies available to obtain them, oh no! Everyone on me! We charge! Ah! It's the remainder of the versus charge. A horn sounds in the distance. A new contingent of warriors crests the neighbor hill. Gavbin's reinforcements charge headlong into the fray. His other troops cheer triumphantly. New arrivals quickly join Gavbin's forces on the field. As the rages, your fortress fight valiantly, pressing over fort. Casualty on both sides are high, and victory remains elusive for either side. Strides through the carriage, his elite guard accompanying him. We both knew it must come to this. Come now, Simon, put you down like the dog you are. Yeah, let's finish this.
Onward!
Jesus, I don't think the game is actually liking this. There's too much going on my map. Where are you and why haven't you summoned tentacles? I did kinda tell you to do that, didn't I? Where's my priest boy?
Yeah?
Perfectly done what I told you. You have not. I think the situation is somewhat under control. Not in a good way, mind you, but in a controllable way.
That's it.
I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, that was... Lies, dead before you, his army scattered, bloodied and exhausted. Your remaining troops look to you, sword raised high in victory, chanting your name. Nos. Jesus. Only the hem of his robe. As he steps over several bodies, Chancellor Valerian approaches you, although his face is pale and he looks as if he will be sick at any moment. He pauses a smile. I'm grateful this dispute is finally over. It is regrettable so many lives were lost in the process. Captain should have just been reasonable from the start. In any event, as the abbot of Il Berman, I'm here to inform you that you've been declared the Tainu of the Direwood, and Kednu has been recognized as your domain. It shall forever be thus, and will pass down to any descendants you may have in the future. Of course, not if your claim has been upheld, you're expected to forward a small portion of any taxes you collect to your rightful lord, Earl Bedemere. Well, sounds reasonable. Here's my work is done. Feel free to visit the place if... 1 second, I'll come and visit you. Yes, perhaps in a year. Or 3. I'm making my way back to Gilren's Rasp. You're in some urgent business for me there, unfortunately. I just have that for now. Feel free to call on me. Love to trade war stories with you for a cup or two.